Shut up and sit down.
What's the story, internet? I hope everyone is having a wonderful day so far. Hope you enjoyed your Wednesday. I'm not going to say that I did. And that will become abundantly clear when we go through some things. So, let me just tell my computer that it doesn't need to restart, and then we can get into things. So, we had League Cup fixtures. So yesterday we had Brentford versus Tottenham, and Tottenham ended up winning that one. 2-0. I was going to say it was 1-0. It wasn't 1-0. It was 2-0. Brentford played relatively well. I mean, they had 45% of the possession. They had 11 shots and they had 3 on target. I mean, it's not bad for a Championship side. Although, to be fair, they did nearly become a Premier League side. And as I mentioned in my previous video, they've been doing relatively well in the Championship. So, not really that surprising that they took Spurs all the way. Spurs played relatively well, as we would expect them to do. 55% possession, 12 shots, 5 on target. Sissoko, of all people, popping up in the 12th minute to score, and then Heung-min Son. And then Josh Da Silva getting sent off for Brentford, so that sort of ruined all hopes of a comeback if they hadn't already been quashed. And then the other semi-final from today, Manchester Derby. Manchester United 0, Manchester City 2. So, final is going to be Spurs against Manchester City. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that Manchester United deserved to win the match. It was a very even match. Possession wouldn't suggest that, but it was 61% to 39%, in case you're wondering, in City's favour. They had 12 shots, we had 11. They had 4 on target, we had 2. Pretty even match. Manchester United played relatively well. They had some good movement. The biggest problem with Manchester United was they just couldn't finish the move. Like, they'd have a really good period of play and then the pass just wouldn't make it. Or someone would shoot from 40 yards instead of passing it. Or they'd try and be too complicated and do what I used to dub the Arsenal problem, because they had that where they'd get into the box and then no one would know what to do with it. If you've ever watched SpongeBob, it's like when Plankton makes it into the Krusty Krab and to steal the formula, and he's like, I never thought I'd make it this far. That seemed to be the problem today with Manchester United, was we made it so far and then just didn't know what to do. And so we didn't get blown out of the water. We weren't embarrassed. That would probably have been easier to take if we had been, because then at least it meant that we played badly. But unfortunately, that is just the way the cookie crumbles. Now, one thing that is annoying is that even though we're second in the table with a game in hand, level on points with Liverpool, if we win, we go top of the table, people are going to start calling for Solskjaer's head. And people are going to say that this is another semi-final he's lost, and people are going to say he's not up to the job, and people are going to say that he should get sacked, and people are going to want Pochettino to come in, even though he's the PSG manager now. But that's just all talk, and it's empty, baseless talk. Because, as I mentioned, top of the table, we made it to the semi-finals of a cup. Yes, we got knocked out, but it's neither here nor there. It's just the way that it happens. We're still in the FA Cup, which there's fixtures for that this weekend. We're still in the Europa League. Yes, it's not the Champions League, but still, it's a ticket into the Champions League if somehow we don't make it into the top 4. So we still have opportunity. And I mean, we're joint top of the table. I mean, do you rather have a League Cup final appearance but not be top of the table? Sounds a bit silly. Got your priorities a little bit mixed up. So that's my problem, is that everyone is going to start calling for his head and everyone's going to start laughing at him. One culprit in particular is the Benchwarmers Facebook page. They are notorious for doing that. For example, I haven't said anything since Manchester United's been winning. Got a new victim, it's Chelsea. But as soon as Manchester United lost today, as soon as they lost, just relentless. Must be Liverpool fans. I think that's the only explanation. So anyway, enough about that. I just wanted to have a bit of a vent because I know it's coming. I know it's going to happen. I can see the writing on the walls. But the other fixture that I wanted to talk about, so there's two in Serie A I wanted to talk about. One of them I mentioned in my previous video, saying that it was coming up, was the AC Milan-Juventus match. Another one was one with a bit of an upset. Sampdoria beat Inter Milan 2-1. So Alexis Sanchez missed a penalty early in the first half, and then they got a second penalty and converted it. And then Sampdoria came back to win 2-1, which is crazy. Another match I've just seen that I actually didn't notice before, but Spezia beat Napoli. So that's quite a bit of an upset as well. And this would have been great news for AC Milan if Juventus hadn't beaten them. So AC Milan get their first loss of the season. They were the only team, pretty sure they were the only team in Europe in the top 5 leagues, or top 4 leagues, if some don't consider the French league a top 5 league, that were still undefeated at the end of the year, and they've just been dealt their first loss of the season. It was 1-1 going into half-time, and then Juventus were just too strong. No Ronaldo on the score sheet. I'm not sure if he was playing. Let's have a look if he was playing or not. If he was and he didn't score, that's pretty crazy. He was playing. Wow. Fair enough. But 2 goals for Federico Chiesa and a goal for Weston McKennie, so good news for the Americans. So yeah, AC Milan's unbeaten run has come to an end. So the reason I mentioned top 5 leagues is because I'm pretty sure Rangers are still undefeated. If I remember correctly, when I was talking about the Old Firm Derby, I remember they had, I think it was like out of 37 fixtures, they had 35 wins and 2 draws. So that's crazy. So that means that Rangers, if Scottish Premier League was considered one of the top leagues, they'd be the only undefeated team in Europe. So another match I want to discuss, I want to preface a little bit. There's a big match in the Dutch league coming up. And it is Ajax versus PSV Eindhoven. So one of the biggest matches in the Dutch league. I just want to see if it has any bearing on the league table. So yeah, Ajax versus PSV Eindhoven, that is on Sunday. So 2 of the biggest teams in Holland coming together. So let's just have a look at their table and see if this is going to affect things. Oh, it's first against second. And wow, so Ajax is in first on 34 points, PSV is in second on 33 points. So this is a big, big match in Holland. Yeah, this is fair enough. So this is an even bigger match than I thought it was. So yeah, definitely one to keep an eye out for. If you can find it, it's around 7:45 Pacific Standard Time on Sunday. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that one. But for more fixtures around the weekend, I'm going to be doing a video tomorrow because there's the FA Cup fixtures, as I mentioned. So I'll be talking about some of those, any big matches around the other European leagues, Spain, Germany, Italy, France, etc. And then if there's a surprise Old Firm derby that just sneaks out of nowhere. But anyway, I'll be talking about that tomorrow. So in the meantime, I hope you're all staying safe, keeping out of trouble. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. And ta-ra for now.